On the Suicide of a Young Boy I Did Not Know by Jennifer Weinblatt is the poem I chose to do for my favorite poem project. I chose this poem because it really has a strong message in it. It talks about suicide, especially of young people. And I think it's really relevant to our society today because many teenagers feel pressured by school or friends or outside sources that cause them to feel like they don't need to belong in this world anymore, that they can just give up. I think Jennifer Weinblatt in this poem really sums up how deeply suicide can hurt anyone. On the suicide of a young boy I did not know. What do I do with this grief that is not mine? This story that is not a story, but a real life abruptly gone? What do I do with these images of a boy I never saw, who got the revolver his careful father kept unloaded by the bed, methodically loaded the cylinder with a bullet, a blank, a bullet, lay down on the cool green sheets of his parents' bed, put the barrel inside his small hot mouth, and pulled the trigger? I did not know the boy. I only know today he would have turned 14, and when my friend last spoke to him, he was trying to decide which movie to see for his birthday, and whether he wanted butter pecan or chocolate chip ice cream cake. I only know his father found his body still warm. His mother can't say anything except that she will never go back into his bedroom. His brothers have stopped speaking to anyone. What can I do with these details that do not belong to me? Bake them into a cake for the grieving family. Scrape the bowl clean of the boy's shocked blood, his last surly words to his father, last disappointing report card, his soft brown hair on the green sheets, his braces, his birthday, his hand on the gun, other hand on the pillow still bearing the curve of his mother's head. They do not want my cake. I have nothing to give them, no place in their despair, no right to this poem. But sorrow has no sense of propriety. It lodges where it pleases, needs little to thrive, and takes what it wants. Weinblatt's poem is a free verse poem. It doesn't have any rhyme scheme or particular pattern to it. It's just open to expression. I think this really relates to the message of her poem because her message is saying that sadness and sorrow can reach anyone. It doesn't have to directly relate to you or be relevant to your direct life, but it can affect anyone in any way because sorrow just takes what it can. She also uses a lot of visual imagery throughout the poem, such as the boy methodically loading the gun with a bullet, a blank, a bullet. He lays on the cool green sheets. He puts the gun inside his small hot mouth. All of these mental images really give depth to the poem because it allows the reader to visualize this horrendous event. It allows them to see exactly what is going on even though they're reading about it. I think another important figurative language technique that Weinblatt uses is the use of rhetorical questions. Throughout the whole poem, Weinblatt poses many questions talking about what does she do with her grief. She's not quite sure because she didn't know the boy, she didn't know the family, she just heard about this tragic event and wanted to write about it. These rhetorical questions aren't meant to be answered. They're just meant to allow herself and the readers to think. It allows the reader to get inside the mind of Weinblatt, to really think about what if someone died and I didn't really know them? Would I be sad? What do I do? Weinblatt can relate to the readers in this way because many people would have the same reaction. So overall, on the suicide of a young boy I did not know, Weinblatt really talks about sorrow and death and how even though you may not be directly related to a death, you can still be full of sorrow because sadness knows no limits.